Hello, scholars. This is Mrs. Byers. I'm coming to you to give you a little bit of a review before your benchmark. Give me a little bit of patience because I can't see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to go through the PowerPoint as we go. We got a review for benchmark. You've got this. You know you do. Most of this stuff we've already covered in class. First thing on our agenda is race or ape strategy. It's how you answer those open-ended questions where you have to infer and come up with an answer and then use the text to support your answer. So race, if you're used to that, it's restate the question, then answer the question. This is usually your first sentence. So you can keep those together. Then you're going to lead in with like the text states or on this page or Richard said or Sasha said something. You are going to give a direct quote from the text. Then you are going to explain your answer. Make sure that you say why you use that quote. How does that quote help support your answer? If you're looking at APE, it's answer, proof, and evidence and explain. So I have here one of the questions we just had recently. As you can see, I answered it. I restated the question. It's in blue. Why did Debbie, Carl, and Sasha want Richard's sentence to be reduced? This was just not too long ago in those chapters when Richard had a new hearing to see about how he was doing at the juvenile hall. So I'm restating the question, which is my topic sentence. Debbie, Carl, and Sasha wanted Richard's sentence to be reduced. Notice I took out the why, and then I added the word because. Here is the answer. They felt Richard had matured and did not intend to harm Sasha. Here, this white, I'm explaining a little bit. After the initial hearing, they received Richard's letters and read them. At the new hearing, Carl said, "Here is my quote. Richard wrote 2 letters to Sasha in which he took responsibility for his actions and asked for forgiveness." Here I put the page number where I found it, and here is my explanation. This shows the family did not know Richard before the letters and realized that Richard was acting foolish or like a child. But the letters revealed that Richard had matured and is beginning to act like an adult. If you are having problems with race or ape, please go to your teacher's office hours. Next idea that we'll have on our benchmark is the central or main idea. Sometimes those words are interchangeable. So it could be central or it might be main. What it is a piece of writing is the point that the author wants you to remember most. Some writers may state the main idea, which is not very often, but it is often implied, which means the reader has to make inferences, what the text says, and what you know about it. It's not the same as a topic. Here is the example. What is the central idea in this paragraph? Most teachers and young adults do not know what they want to do for the rest of their lives. It is a big decision. There are a number of things that you can do to narrow the choices. For example, you can take an interest test. Do some research on your own about a career. Try to volunteer work in the field in which you are interested, or job shadow, in which you spend a day with a person who is working in a field that interests you. These are just a few helpful ideas you begin to choose a career. What's the topic? What is this paragraph basically about? What is the author saying about that or them? Here's the topic. It's teenagers, right? What is the main idea? Ideas to help teenagers with the rest of their lives. This is a question you will be asked. How do you know that? What is the detail from the text that supports your answer? These are just a few helpful ideas to begin to choose a career. Now, here's the next topic we are going to be talking about. Nonfiction structures. You have description, order and sequence or chronological, cause and effect, compare and contrast, problem and solution. Here's an example of order in sequence, or chronological, which means that it happens in time. When Tim woke up, he did not want to go to school. His mom took him anyway. So he went to school, but he didn't do any work. The days passed and still Tim didn't do any work. Mr. Morton called Tim's house, but Tim still wouldn't do any work. Finally, the report cards came out and Tim failed his classes. Tim was sad. So first he woke up, then he went to school, then his mom took him. It happens in the order of time of the time. First, second, third. Here, cause and effect. One thing is causing another. And here, problem and solution. There's a problem and then there's a solution. I'm going to give you a few minutes, a few seconds to read these paragraphs. The sun bear, native to Southeast Asia, is an endangered species for two reasons. First, people in this part of the world hunt the sun bear for body parts, such as the gallbladder, the claws, and the meat. The body parts are valuable because some people believe that eating them will help heal broken bones and bruises. They believe this because the sun bear falls out of trees without injuring himself. Additionally, special restaurants serve bear paws and bear meat to diners who think that eating this kind of meal will bring good health. In addition to being hunted, the sun bear's habitat is being destroyed. The jungles where the sun bear's habitat is being destroyed. The jungle where the sun bears live are being cleared away to make way for homes, farms, legendary beliefs that can be harmful to nature. So here we have they're endangered, and the rest of it gives you the effects or the cause on why they are endangered. In problem and solution, here we have astronauts face many difficulties in space caused by weightlessness. One of the challenges is floating around the cabin. To solve this problem, here's your clue. Astronauts wear shoes that are coated with special adhesive. This adhesive sticks to the floor of the cabin. Serving food is another difficulty. It won't stay on the table. Experts solve this problem by putting food and drinks in pouches and tubes. Food is pre-processed and only needs to be mixed with water. Weightlessness makes the simple task of turning a doorknob or a wrench a real problem, since there is no gravity to keep the astronaut down. Do you see the problems that they state out, and then they give you a solution, like here. Serving food is another difficulty. That's the problem. They solved it by putting food and drinks in pouches. The other topic we will be discussing, or we will be worried about, is author's purpose. That's basically, why did the author write it? There are basically three purposes there are three reasons why an author writes. Either to persuade you, to get you to do something or believe something, usually their point of view. You see this mostly in commercials and speeches. To inform you, the author gives you information about a topic, or to entertain you. Now, the author can use all three of these in one piece. However, you have to look for what the question is asking you when you get on your test. For an example, here is a paragraph, and what is the author's purpose? Football is an American sport. It is a popular game in which two teams compete. This is a dangerous sport for players on the field. Players must wear special equipment for the games. They wear pads and a helmet. This gear keeps them safe. The game includes throwing a ball and running. The players try to score points, but the other team tries to stop them. Players block and tackle in order to prevent the other team from scoring. Many players become injured from this physical and harmful sport. What is the main purpose? Is it to inform about the fun game? Well, in this paragraph, does the author actually say that the game is fun? Just that it's popular. To inform how football is played. It's a dangerous sport. They wear pads. He does kind of tell you that. To entertain you with facts about football. There are a lot of facts about football in here, yes, but is it really entertaining? Or to inform you about football being dangerous? Well, look at most of them. Compete. Is that pretty dangerous? Here, this is a dangerous sport for players on the field. That could be. The special equipment, all has to deal with how dangerous it is, right? The game, throwing the ball and running scoreboards, but the other team tries to stop them. Is that also dangerous? Yes. They block and tackle. That doesn't sound like it's fun or just about information. It sounds like it's dangerous. And here, in the very last sentence, many players become injured from this harmful and physical sport. So I would think that that is the full purpose, to inform you how dangerous football is. Theme, guys, you've got theme. This is what is the lesson that you carry away from either a piece of fiction, even nonfiction can have a theme, but usually it's what the author is trying to teach you. What can you relate to? How can you relate it to real life? So here is another little thing. I'm going to give you a chance to read this on your own, and then you can tell me what the theme is. I don't think I have it. Whoop. If you think it was that sometimes good things happen, or you might have to wait for good things to happen, you got it. Now, the next idea is characterization. I know in class we spent a little bit of time on this. We did some projects with it. So here you have characterization is what the author shows you, which is direct characterization, or shows, which is indirect, sorry, or tells you about a character. When the author tells you about a character, it is direct characterization. He will say, this guy was silly. Lloyd. Lloyd, I believe, in the 57 bus was a character. He was acting like a fool. But when he shows you about it, they usually use what they say, which is speech, thoughts, what does the character think, how they affect others, how do the other characters react to that character, what do they do, their actions, or look. An easy way to do is think of steal. Steal. Here is an example. This is from the 57 bus. This is talking about the parole board officer, Richard Lindsay. He was a genial fireplug of a man who spoke informally, like someone from the neighborhood. That is direct characterization. He is talking about what this man is like. Here, genial, you might not know what it means, so I'm telling you it means happy. And if it's someone who is like the neighborhood, don't you feel kind of friendly with him? Yes. Here we have a quote from Miss Caprice. Next time it'll be a C. Before long it'll be a B. This reveals that Miss Caprice is very optimistic. She always thinks of the good things. Think about it that way. Character traits are something that you will have to know. Oops. And the last thing we will be discussing, or you will have a question on, is point of view. We have 4 point of views. We have first person, second person, and third person. First person is when the story is told from a character's point of view, and they usually use the words I or we. Second person is kind of usually resolved to instructions, and that is when you see the pronoun you. And third person, you have limited or omniscient, where you have he, she, it, and they. We have 2 different point of views in third person. It's limited and it would be omniscient. I'm going to take a look at omniscient here. This would be the narrator here, and as you can see, they are looking at everything. So they know everything, and therefore you know everything. Always look for the pronouns they, or he, or she. Here we have third person limited. That means the narrator is outside of the story. That means he's outside of it, but he is still limited to one person's thoughts. So he looked off into the mountains. He remembered the first time he had been there. Do you know why he's looking off into the mountains? Do you know what he's looking at? Do you know what happened the first time he was there? No. So here is your review. I'm going to leave you off with one thing. Good luck. Remember, guys, we have talked about this. This has been basically your year. I know that it's been a little difficult in the last couple of weeks, but I'm pretty sure you guys got this. You have a great day and rock this rocket. Have fun.